Happy Friday. Thank you to everyone for joining me for 52 weeks of team building. This is week number 7 on our week of 52, or our 52-week journey. And this week I have something really fun to bring you, and we call it the 1-minute obstacle course. And it is exactly what it sounds like. So you set up an obstacle course, and there are a lot of sources for this in the instructions that I will put online on the website. I have a few ideas for you, or some items that you can use to set up an obstacle course, but Pinterest has an immense amount of ideas. And don't be worried if the ideas that you find on Pinterest are for kids, because adults, we are no different than children. Some of us act like children on a daily basis. Sometimes not that often. But even if you find an idea for an obstacle course for children, grab that idea and use it, because adults will love it too. Because remember, this is all about play. So you are going to create a 1-minute obstacle course for your team. And you do this with a purpose in mind. Make sure you tell your team that they are going to be competing. They will be doing some physical activity. Remember, it's only a 1-minute course, so your course is not going to be large, which is nice because it keeps a lot of the burden off of you, and it doesn't require a ton of resources to make, because the objective of this game is for your teams to navigate the obstacle course in 1 minute. Not a second less or a second more. Their goal is to hit that obstacle course in full completion in 60 seconds, aka 1 minute. And that's all that they have. So, first, find a space where you can use your obstacle course, whether it be indoors or outdoors. Keep in mind when you are creating your obstacle course, or you can call it a maze, that you do not want to set up challenges that will have to be reset every time they run the course, because your teams will take multiple runs throughout the course. And if you have a lot of extra time having to reset something or refill something with water, it will take extra time. So you can do that, but budget for it in your time box. Just budget your time so you know you have the right resources and the right amount of time to reset everything between runs. So how does it work? You gather your teams together, and the first thing that you do is you remove watches, phones. If there are clocks in the wall in the room, cover them up or take them down. You remove every source of time-keeping ability that they have, and that's the biggest challenge. Separate your group into teams of 2 to 5 people, and then instruct them that they are going to have to complete the obstacle course in 1 minute. It's not about who completes it the fastest. It's not about who completes it within the time frame of 1 minute. It's whatever team gets to the end of that obstacle course in exactly 60 seconds. That is the team that will be deemed as successful in completing the task. So you can have multiple teams that actually hit this goal and are considered successful, and that can be really great. This is a good team challenging activity because you are going to be removing the resources that they have, any outside resources for them to pull that information from. They have to rely on each other to complete the activity. So they don't get to look online. They don't have a clock. They don't have somebody who can be a timer. It removes that ability for them to do so. So they have to build trust relationships. They have to communicate. And more importantly than speak, your teams are going to have to exercise listening skills to listen to each other. So divide your group into teams of 2 to 5. I would say that 5 is on the heavy side. I would recommend 3, maybe 4 max, but you can complete this with 5 people. The more people you have on a team, the more challenging it will be for them to complete the course in 1 minute, because they have to get all 5 people through the course in exactly 60 seconds. So, step 1, divide them into teams. Step 1, remove all of their phones, watches, timer, devices, all that kind of fun stuff. Step 2, divide them into teams. Step 3, tell them that their objective is to get through the course in 60 seconds, not a second more or a second less. Then, give them 5 to 7 minutes to kind of collaborate and strategize for what they are going to do when it is their turn to run the course. Be careful. Don't give too much more than 5 or 7 minutes, because they are going to have an opportunity when that is done. Give them up to 3 trial runs on the course. So allow them 5 to 7 minutes to strategize, and then give them 1 to 3 trial runs so they can test the strategies that they have put in place before the actual challenge begins. So when you begin the actual challenge, run your teams in turns. So let team 1 take a turn, team 2 take a turn, and then team 3, and allow them to re-strategize. Give each team an opportunity to run the course a minimum of 3 times, a maximum of 6 times, and you can take their best time from all of their runs to decide who our winning teams are, because any team that does not make it in 60 seconds, that is considered a losing run. To make this really fun and really competitive, grab a piece of flip chart paper or a poster board, put it up on the wall, and track their times publicly so everybody can see them. Now, make sure that either you are the one tracking each of these runs and doing the timing, or have somebody else join who's not part of your team and see if they won't mind donating a little bit of time to this fun activity so they can be your official timekeeper, and then they can record those group times on that flip chart or on that poster board. This activity is guaranteed to be a lot of fun. You are going to have people laughing. Some people who get really competitive are going to get probably a little bit physical, but they have to work together, and it's a silly good time. And the hardest part is they have to figure out how long a minute actually is. And even if they try counting it out on their own, a lot of them are going to have challenges running the course completely with their entire team within that time frame. So it's really about how are they going to work together to successfully get through this course in the correct amount of time without using those outside resources. When you're done with the runs, my suggestion is to award the teams in a ceremony, much like the Olympics. You can go to Party City, you can go online, and they have some really cute little faux medals that you can award out, or those little fake trophies that you can give out. Make it a fun award ceremony, a little bit like the Olympics. Make the end of it very fun so they can enjoy it. And then spend a few minutes debriefing the activity with your group. Ask them questions such as, what was the most challenging part of this activity? What did you do to overcome that? Or were you not able to overcome that? Ask them how difficult it was. And we shy away from this all the time because we think, oh, it's negative. It's okay to ask them what the hardest part of dealing or working with their team was on this challenge. What was the most difficult part of being on a team in this challenge? What made it harder? What did you do to try to overcome that? And then one of my favorite questions is, how much time and attention did you devote or allot to watching the other teams who were competing and learning from either their successes or their challenges and failures? And how did you apply that to what you are going to do on your next run? It helps build their awareness of maybe there is something going on outside of our team. Somebody has some other ideas that I should pay attention to and I can bring back to our team. You will find that you will have some people who are very naturally equipped to look at outside influences and bring them into what they're currently doing. You will also find that you have team members that get so sucked in to what they're doing that they have a very hard time looking up and looking around to either get information from others or to seek information from others. So this is a fun challenge. It is definitely very physical. It doesn't need to be, crazy. Nobody needs to be crawling through mud. Remember, you only have a minute to complete the course, but it can be a course that is fun. It can be silly, balloons, hula hoops, frisbees, buckets where they can carry water or sand, things that they need to balance on. If you want to get really simple with it, put some pieces of tape on the floor and make them follow arrows in a certain direction, or they can't step on the line or they have to restart. Lots of great ideas for obstacle courses are out there. In the instructions, I give you some ideas on some materials you can use, and I really suggest going out to Pinterest, my favorite place to find creative ideas. Just type in obstacle course. It doesn't matter if there's a 5-year-old playing or a 50-year-old playing. They are all good ideas. No one is ever too old to play. So, thank you so much for joining me on this 7th week of 52 weeks of team building. I will see you next week with another fun idea. As always, if you like this post, please like or comment on the video or share. Would love that. If you try this at home with your family, guys, this can be a fun family adventure too. If you try this with your family or with your team at work or at church or your volunteer group, please, shout back at me, email me at beth@creativelearningsociety.com. Post back on this or comment back on this post or call me, my phone number's there, and let me know how it goes. I love it when people share. So have a great weekend. Happy Friday, everyone. This is Beth with Creative Learning Society, signing out of 52 weeks of team building. Until next time. See you guys later. Bye.